Hey y'all, welcome to Raising a Woman podcast. I am your host, Miss Antesha, as always. So this week we're gonna talk about dating. Dating over 40. Actually, I'm gonna share a little story with y'all about the time I was catfished. Cause this month makes about the 2-year anniversary since I was catfished. But before that, let's roll things back a little bit. Last week, I promised you, I did not forget. I said I was going to give you an update on the new job, how things are going. So I worked all last week, the full schedule, everything. I was a little sore. I'm not gonna lie. I'm used to physical work, but even so, it's different movements, different muscles. So I was a little sore throughout the week. Nothing, horrible or too debilitating. I've caught on to the job super fast. I'm familiar with the background of that type of work. So that was good. I've learned the process. The team is nice, a lot of nice people, a lot of cool people on the team. So that's always awesome, right? Because I hate starting a new place and you got them funky acting coworkers. That is the absolute worst. So far, so good. Everybody's helpful, everybody's good. um, the scheduling is nice. Oh my gosh. It's such a relief. It's such a relief compared to what I was previously at, with longer hours in the day and just way more aggressive. So I'm enjoying myself. The benefits are benefiting, like I said. I'll be signing up for those this week officially. But yeah, other than that, I'm gearing up this week because we have overtime. Well, it'll be my first week doing overtime. So a little longer. The cool part is that overtime doesn't happen on your off days. I'm used to coming in on my off days for overtime. Here at the new job, overtime means you just start work earlier. So instead of 6:30, we come in at 5. We still get off at the same time. You still got the weekends off, which is perfect because I need that time, especially with school. A lot of me trying to play catch up sometimes comes at, the end of the week on the weekends. So I need that free time. So I'm sure I'll do, fine with the overtime. Of course, can't wait to get that money. Okay. Give me the overtime, honey. I need that. So that's the update on the job. So listen, I cannot believe we are already in March. I mean, girl, is it not going by fast? It really does go by fast, but it's so weird because I feel like the year goes by fast and slow at the same time. Before you know it, it's gonna be summertime. Then it's like, oh, we already halfway through this thing. And then it's like countdown to winter. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're already at the halfway point of the halfway point. When you think about that, that's crazy, right? So we're like month number 3. Okay, 6 months is the halfway point. So we're halfway to the halfway. All right, we're moving along. Listen, it's gonna keep going regardless, whatever it looks like. But I was thinking today, I was like, Antisha, girl, what are we gonna do about dating? What are we gonna do about dating? I am in my 40s. And where do you find these people at? Where do you go? Like, I'm just gonna have to start running errands. I'm just gonna start showing up, popping up at places. Okay, because the club life that's a wrap for me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was never finding people in the club. That was never an actual option for me. I don't know if it was for you, but me going to the club to find people, that was never a thing. To me, the times that I did go to the club, because I was never a big social party scene type of person. And that's always kind of been a hindrance too, because when you're not someone who's actively like involved and you're out here and going to all these different events, of course you're limiting your space of who you're going to run into. And so it's that much more difficult to date someone because if you're never around, like who's going to see you? But even when I was younger, and I would go to the club. It was never for dating reasons. It represented two things for me. Either one, girls' night out, right? You going with your girls, whatever your little crew, family, sisters, cousins, whoever it may be. Y'all going out to have a good time. Or option number two, like you're in a relationship with someone and y'all just want to go out and have some fun. That's what, in my mind, that's how I always looked at and viewed going to the club. It was never for me gonna be, I'm about to find the love of my life. I'm looking for the love of my life. None of that. That was never, ever a thing. So now I don't do the club life at all. I've been stopped. I kind of went into like the little lounge era where it's like gives you club vibes without the full on club, more adult scene. You know what I mean? But I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know. Everything now is all technology. We're all online. So now you got to factor in, or not just now. I mean, it's been a factor. Online dating. Online dating is some of the most riskiest business. Some of the most riskiest business. This month will be 2 years since your girl was catfished. Now, wait a minute. Let me slow it down a little bit. Okay. So I knew it was a catfish. I just automatically from the beginning, I'm like, this story, it don't make sense. It's too much of a story. However, at that time, I'm wild for this, by the way. So at that time, I was thinking about, getting back on the dating scene too. I was like, I think I'm ready. Your girl wants to get out here, wants to meet some people. And so since I pretty much figured it was a catfish anyways, and I'll tell y'all why. I'll give y'all the details as to what really was like, yeah, this is a catfish. I decided, well, listen, I'm ready to date and to get back out here. So I'll just use this to my advantage. So I actually was using the person who was catfishing me. I was using that as a little testing ground of me, working on my social skills, getting comfortable, getting to know somebody, talk, to someone again. So I had a whole little motive behind it. So I wasn't upset about being catfished at all. Like I said, I it kind of to me was like obvious. And I just didn't feel like taking the time to investigate it. I had told myself, I'll look into it a little later. I'll do the little background check on it and find out if the person's really, catfish. But I just went on about business. So let me tell you what it was, what the red flags were. So the story was that his wife had passed away, I think from cancer. They had a son. I think the son was like 9 or something years old. Um, he was from here. This is where the story. This is where it's like you got a lot going on. So he was from here, the United States. I can't remember where he said he was from. I don't know why I want to say Texas, but I don't think it was Texas. So he was from here. His son, however, was in a boarding school in Europe, right? Because he worked he was in the ocean, so he was he was on an oil rig. Girl, he was working on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean. I can't even remember what ocean he said. Oh my goodness. I was like, this is a catfish all day long. It don't make sense. Like you got like two different countries going on. You in the middle of the ocean. Um, it's just a mess. It's just a mess. But I'm feeling myself at this point because I'm like, I'm working on me. I'm working on my conversation. So I don't care. So we messaged for about like 2 weeks. I think around like the third week or something. I don't know. I think the conversation was kind of like drying out for me. So I didn't respond back. I had a lot going on with work and everything like that. So I was like, whatever to this. So fast forward, probably like a month later, I got the message. Oh, this was all, by the way, this was on Instagram. And they messaged me back just randomly. It was like, hey, haven't heard from you in a long time. So at that point, I'm like, conversation must have dried up with the other people. They catfishing. They coming back, making their rounds. So I still, by that point, I was kind of like definitely over it. I was like, this is getting boring or whatever like that. So I was like, all right, let me finally do my research. So what I did, in case you don't know, like, how do you find out if you're being catfished or whatever? So one of the things that I know that I've always done is I run an image check. So they had pictures on the profile, limited pictures by the way. That's another red flag when I see people who only got 6, 7 pictures. Mind you, I'm an account who I'm a real person. And I only for the longest time had like under 10 pictures because I wasn't posting. Like I'd be on social media following and liking and keeping up with the news, but I wasn't doing my own content creation. So that's not automatically means that a person's not real. But to me, it's definitely a red flag. And so they had limited pictures. So it was given new account vibe. Okay. And then I said, okay, let me take the time and let me finally look since they messaged me back like a month later. So I take some of the, I take a photo and I run it through just regular old Google search, nothing fancy, nothing fancy. I put it through, yeah, I think the Google images or something like that. And it popped up, first it was popping up like different things that didn't make sense, but I kept scrolling and I was like, "Wait a minute." It was a different picture. It was a picture that wasn't on the account, but it looked like the person. And so I went and I grabbed that picture or it showed that it was Instagram. The name automatically was different. It was a different username. I was like, "There we go. There we go." So I click, I go back. I'm actually now on the real person's account. So that person ended up being, I guess they were kind of known. They were a trainer. And what was interesting, because I was like, well, let me go into the comments and everything. So I clicked into some of the comments of the photos, and there were multiple women in the comments who were like upset. I got catfished using your photos, and somebody, I've been thinking I'm talking to a real person, and I'm like, whoa, like they really, I think were really like engaged with that person. For me, that was never the case. I automatically put it together on being catfish. We just using it as practice to get back onto the dating scene. But no, I was like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of women in here. And so the real person was saying they know they've shut it down. They hate that it happened to them and stuff like that. But the thing that did bother me the most, and it wasn't pertaining towards me. It was the person who was catfishing actually used the real person's child, because the child was a real child on that person's profile. That was their, on the real account. That was their son. I can scroll down and see pictures of them with their son. And so that bothered me about the person catfishing. I feel like, first of all, catfishing is wrong anyways, right? To deceive people. Um, there's no right to it. That's wrong anyways. But if you're doing that, I feel like you should automatically, children should be left out of it. Don't be using somebody else's family, somebody else's child as if it's yours. If you're catfishing other adults, you know, listen, we're adults. All right. But incorporating their children, so that I was like, that's definitely bad taste and that's really not cool. But so I screenshot the real person's account, and then I uploaded the screenshot, and I can't remember what I said. I was like, I finally took the time, verified that you're a catfish. You know, I ended up blocking the whole account. But yeah, I was catfished, but no harm came to me. Wasn't no money scheme scam, which that wasn't gonna work anyways. Child, I'm not sending no coin. to you randomly, like we just booed up and never met. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing. This was the other thing too. This was the final straw that made me say, let me go research. We were supposed to do a phone date. So use the video app on Instagram, the phone call. And the time and everything was set up. And I was like, watch. Something told me, I said, it's gonna be some reason why they can't do it. Why they can't do it. And there wasn't a reason, I don't think. They didn't. The time was set up and everything, and they never did it. Just ghosted on the phone call. And I can't remember if they did come up with a reason. Like remember they on the oil rig somewhere in the middle of the ocean. In the middle of the ocean. So it's hard for them to connect. So that might have been a reason that they had gave. But I knew that phone when we had that video set up, I said, this is not finna be a thing. This is not finna happen. But I was geared up for it. I was geared up for it. I was like, let me see what happens. Nothing happened. But yeah, so that was my little catfish thing, my little catfish story. But what I will say, I've had other experiences with the online dating sites many years ago. And I got off a long time ago off of the dating sites once I realized that they are full of it. It's a bunch of BS. I kid you not. I was seeing people because I was signed up to multiple um, sites at one point. I mean, I was Christian Mingo, Black People Meet. What else? It was a couple of other. Maybe I tried Zeus. I don't know if that's still around. I think I tried eHarmony. eHarmony was a hard one to sign up. I mean, they really got you answering them questions for sure, which I guess is good, but also that's a lot. Like, am I applying for a job or like like what we doing with these deep long questions, you know. I was just like, I think I quit eHarmony trying to sign up a couple of times. I think I was just like, I can't do it. But I ended up this was my red flag for me on the dating sites that I was a part of. I had figured out that Craigslist, yes, Craigslist has a dating section. I used to go on Craigslist because I would be looking for jobs. And so when I seen that they had dating, I was like, well, what's this? Wait a minute. Let me see. The worst decision. Well, actually, no. Actually, it was a good decision. It was a good decision because it let me see what was really going on in the world, like what the truth really is. So I was seeing accounts on the other dating sites, on Christian Mingle, Black People Meet, the other sites that I were on, their same profiles were on Craigslist. So, for example, on Christian Mingle, they're looking for love. You know what I mean? They're looking for a good woman. They want a relationship, everything, the whole nine. On Craigslist, however, okay, they are, what was the word? They're mobile, STD free, and you would get a little photo and you know what the photo was of. The same account. Like this is the same person. They got the same like profile picture. It's the same name, everything. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. I can't stand a person who just can't be honest. I I don't have a problem with you not wanting to settle down. I don't have a problem with you wanting to date multiple people. I don't have a problem with you doing the things that you want to do. The problem, however, is you lying about it and making other people believe that you want what they want when the whole time you're in the background in the dark doing something else. And the bigger question is like, what is the reason? Why? Literally, why? There are always going to be people who are going to be on the same energy and the same vibe as you. There are always going to be someone who is okay with that. Okay, you don't want to settle down. They might not want to settle down. Or if they like you enough that, they're unfortunately willing to put up with your mess just to be with you, still at the end of the day, at least they still know. But to pretend to be on one side, looking like you're looking for marriage and the whole family, to be on another side, you trying to hook up in the late night hours with random folks. It's a mess. I don't even know. I don't know how I'm gonna step back into this dating environment. Um, the dating apps is already been proving themselves to be a no-go. But yet I still be finding that some people, y'all really do be finding love still on social media. And I'm like, how? Like what led you to feel or to know that this person was a real person? Or is it all just really just a gamble? And honestly, it's a gamble no matter what. Whether you meet a person in the grocery store, um, at your job, at the park, or online. It's all a gamble at the end of the day. People's inability to be able to just be honest and be truthful. It's just it's wild behavior. It's wild behavior because I'm definitely an honest person. I definitely lead with an honest heart and just an honest mindset. Like I want you to know me. Like I want you to get to know me and I just that doesn't mean that everything, like every detail is revealed at one time. I mean, you'll get to know my personality and all of that stuff fully, you know, over time. But I'm not just out here just lying and just pretending I want a situation that I don't really want. Like I'm not ever doing that. I'm not telling no major lies and all of that. I want you to make the decisions that you want to make for yourself. And I just wish that others would do the same. Like, don't you? Okay, who wants to be catfish? Baby, the only catfish I want is the catfish frying in the pan. That's it with the extra crunch on it. Okay, I want the crunchy catfish with the hot sauce. I gotta have hot sauce. I don't have to eat it with hot sauce. Well seasoned catfish. My mom be throwing down when she in the mood and she do that catfish. It's a wrap. She throw down with that catfish. I still sometimes do hot sauce on things like catfish or even with greens because even greens when they season right, I don't gotta do hot sauce. Hot sauce is just like, I don't know. It's just a habit. It's a habit most of the time. It has nothing to do with the person didn't season the food well. It's more or less just I like the taste of hot sauce. And I just like the combination of it. So that's the only catfish that I want to be a part of. I I got a confession to make. I got a confession to make. I do not like scary movies. I don't know how some of y'all really love the horror movies, but for me, it's even more, even when it be saying like suspense or I be seeing thriller. What is the difference between horror and thriller? Like, is that not still all scary? It's because it's like suspense, I think thriller and horror. Maybe it goes in that order. It's all scary to me. If I do watch a scary movie, it has to be early in the day, like a late morning, first thing in the afternoon. So that means it's gonna be on the weekends, it's gonna be on the off days. I gotta have the curtains open. The daylight has to be in here. It has to be early enough in the day so that I allow myself enough time to watch other programs because I will have nightmares. If it's the last thing, if it's the last thing I watch before I go to bed, I'm not gonna sleep well. I'm probably gonna have nightmares. It's gonna be a horrible night. So I have to have seen it early enough in the day so that I have enough time. to fill in with some other TV shows, some other little movie, little kid cartoon movie or something, something light to help me process. And so the movie that I'm gearing up to watch, I have to watch it because I know it's a good movie, is Sinners, Michael B. Jordan. It looks scary to me. I've seen vampire movies and I watch vampire movies, but it's still just this looks like it'll keep me up if it's the last thing that I watch at night. So I'm not gonna watch it today because I got some stuff to do. Um, so I'll probably watch it this weekend, this Saturday, because he's up for an Oscar, and it's like I gotta watch it. I gotta see what this movie is about. I always, I watch a lot of his movies and have enjoyed a lot of them. So I want to watch Sinners. I was supposed to had done it like supposed to watch it like 2-3 weeks ago, and I chickened out. I chickened out at the last minute. I was like, I'll wait. I still got time. So now we at the end of the season. These Oscars is happening, and so girl, just watch it. Watch it in the daytime. Sunlight's out. Curtains is open. Like follow up with a little movie, follow up with a little TV show or something, you know, have the rest of the day mapped out and you'll be good. So I will be watching Sinners this I guess this weekend. I guess this weekend we'll say. We'll say I'll try Saturday. I'll try Saturday. Cuz Sunday I'm kind of, getting ready for the work week, cleaning, laundry, all of that stuff. So then it'll probably be too late and later in the day at that point. So Saturday is the day I'm going to watch Sinners. I'm gonna watch it. I'm sure it's a good movie. I'm sure it's as good as people say. Michael B. Jordan is an amazing actor to me. I always enjoy his work, and I really want to see this movie because I want to see his progression. He just gets better and better and better with time and with each project. So I definitely have to watch that. But listen, it's coming to that time, y'all. It's coming to that time. Listen, it is Monday. We are starting the work week. I know I'm starting it earlier with the overtime. So I gotta come into work early. I'm getting that money though. Gotta get that money. Gotta get that money. So listen, y'all have a wonderful week. Spring is we might as well say spring is here, right? It's right around the corner. I love seeing the daylight last longer. I love it. Now we're on the opposite end, you guys. Now every single day it's more daylight, more daylight, more daylight. And that does something that picks me up my energy. It makes me feel like I have so much more time to my day, right? Then the winter months when it's like dark at 4:30. Like, what am I supposed to do at that point? Like, it feels like the day's over. So now we're on the opposite end of that. So I'm looking forward to that. The weather's kind of getting a little better here. Still some cold days, so it's a little chilly today, but I'm finna get outside, run some errands. Um, you know, maybe walk the block a little bit of exercise, a little bit of exercise. But I want y'all to have an amazing week, a blessed week. Be mindful. Listen, dating is challenging. Dating over 40, I, even more challenging, I would agree. But honestly, I don't think it matters what age you are. At this point in time, we're all on the even playing field. All this AI, all this technology, I don't think that any group is really winning when it comes to dating. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Um, we all have to be vigilant. Do the background checks, like run the image checks, the imaging through Google Images or, whatever way you can, and try and locate the real profiles to those photos, if they exist. Never give your, personal information like that. And definitely somebody asking for money, it's a wrap. Baby, you're gonna have to go to the government. You gonna have to. You gonna have to. Mhm. Mhm. Cause see, we just talking through messaging. So we just talking through messaging. So I'm gonna say you're gonna need to go to the government for that financial assistance. At this point, we don't have anything established, boo boo. We don't have nothing established. But y'all have an amazing week, a blessed week. Okay. I'm looking forward to my week. Um, I have a loved one who unfortunately is in the hospital. My stepfather had an emergency last week, last Sunday, and was in ICU, and he's out though in the ICUs in ICU. He's in a his own room on the regular flooring, and he's doing a little bit of talking. He's going to have a long recovery, but that's amazing. That's such a blessing to me, my mom, the family. So yeah, we're just gonna go into this week, you know, uh prayed up, hopeful, blessed, blessed, all of those good things. So y'all stay focused. Um, keep them antennas up on them catfish, girl. Check the different sites. Craigslist dating, if that's still a thing, you might be able to you might be able to cancel out some profiles. You might be. Okay. But until then, y'all have a blessed week. Okay. I'm your host, Miss Antesha. You are tuned in to Raise the Woman podcast. And as always, from pain to purpose, let's talk about it. Bye, y'all.